Welcome everybody to the B stream, and welcome to what has been a morning of upsets and international success. And as we join Akave Esports on their journey now, they take on TSM. Both these teams currently 1-1 in Pool A, and we have to wonder, Andy, if the upsets and international success is going to continue here.
Yeah, I mean, a wild morning, and as you and I talked about when we were casting on the main stage, you thought that maybe Salt Lake City was going to indicate a return to form for a lot of these teams, but maybe a few less surprises as the seeds settled down. And my word, has day 2 in Charlotte ever turned that completely on its head. Wild results and upsets already here this early in the day of the tournament.
Oh my goodness. Well, if you're wondering why Akave Esports are here and why they're playing so well, there's a good indication from Leuor. Initially, the body shot I thought was impressive. The second headshot, though, oh, it was absolutely superb.
It was superb indeed, and if you're just joining us and you haven't been following this pool, Pool A has gotten pretty spicy. Akave just reverse swept, I believe, Complexity. A wild result for them, and I also want to say, TSM yesterday, we talked about it in their Complexity series, even though they won it, it wasn't the cleanest. And that starts to just kind of provide a great setup here for this series where anything could happen.
Yeah, it really does feel like anything can happen. It takes me back to DreamHack a little bit earlier in the year where we were like, what is happening on well, it was a Friday evening then into a Saturday morning, but now the Saturday morning poses the same question. But at the start of this, we have a fairly equal game as far as point scoring, but finally TSM get all of the control that they would require for this triple cap, and they will start to just pull away a little bit. A couple of players from Akave stepping into A to try and flip it, but as you can see, SoulSnipe is going to be on the flank here. If you can get that stick, they've been able to keep that triple cap in effect. However, it's going to be 2 dead here for Akave and 2 strongholds still, and maybe even 3 in the control of TSM.
Yeah, TSM going to be very comfortably in the driver's seat here. And if you ask me, there's more than just, of course, this pool series result is very important with the 2 teams 1-1, but for TSM, it feels like there's more riding on the line, right? How they win this series, or excuse me, how they play in this series should they win, could really tell us a lot about what their weekend has in store, right? Is this a top 8 we're looking at, or something that's going to threaten even higher?
I think it's something that a team like TSM will put it into the bracket of teams that I want to kind of talk about here. Is those teams who have been struggling to get to Sunday, been close, game 5, not been able to make it, right? Those type of teams, TSM, Luminon Gaming, for example, would have seen some of the slip-ups this morning from some of the big teams. Seen some of the weakness being shown by those teams who are making it through to Sundays, and thinking, well, why not us?
Yeah.
And TSM are probably thinking exactly the same here.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. As you see the score still in the trip cap, by the way. Akave might be coming off the back of a very impressive reverse sweep, but they found a new opponent so far in TSM. But I couldn't agree more. If you look at kind of inspiring opportunities for players around the venue and open teams, and as you said, coming in, and it just feels like there's a lot of that. Right? It's palpable. When you're talking about, this is not only the last major, but of course the last open event like this of Halo Infinite. Think about what's possible, and a lot of teams showed up, and not only spectator pass batches selling out, but also that first entire batch of team passes as well. So there's just a lot of, I think, hunger, to put it simply, in the building.
Well, hunger can be infectious. If you are one of those teams who are looking to prove something at this event, whatever your story may be, TSM doing a great job in this game, by the way. It really has just been consistent, stifling control from them on 95 and rising, and that's going to cross 200 very, very soon, as well as they still continue to hold A and C here. Akave just look a little bit lost on the map, and they're about to be 4 dead as well. That's not going to make it any easier.
Not at all. This has been really a steamrolling is the only way to put it. TSM, we talk often about how Lattice is an opportunity for maybe a lower-seeded team to have put in the work. It really looks like that's not going to be the case so far in this one. To say the very least, as TSM looks strong on this map in game 5.
Yeah, Manny's going to pick up the double kill, the 2 players from Akave as well. Trying to force onto A. Almost gets the stick as well. Almost gets the second stick, but almost not good enough in that situation. Looks like Drift, the teammate, will be able to convert A and finally get a few points on the board. But look at the hail of nades coming down. Somehow Drift is still alive, but you have to wonder for how long it.
He should be flipping as well. Looks like off screen that will be happening. They will be scoring yet again at the 223 mark. And I do want to say I have been seeing SoulSnipe, Druk, and Manny on the basketball court in the hotel gym quite a bit. Might have built a little bit of team camaraderie on that court, translating in the game.
Yeah, looking pretty good. 231 and rising, still B and C in their control. It felt like a long time ago that Akave got a few points on the board right at the start of this game, and TSM have just been keeping them 1, 2, 3, 4 dead, and having the numbers advantage, which means they can just rotate, fly towards these strongholds, and With 5 minutes left on the game clock, it's game over as
Wow.
TSM will take game number 1, 250 to 46.
Yeah, convincing to say the very least. We'll be right back with game number 2.
I'll go back to game 2 between Akave Esports and TSM from Taulek. TSM will 1 to the good up after a... Dominating doesn't really tell the story, does it, Andy? It was a spanking. It was a spanking of Akave in that game number 1. Lattice Stronghold 250 to 46. Final score in that one as we head into game number 2, Slayer here on Livefire.
A spanking of which the echoes of the reverberations will play rent-free in my brain for quite some time. Game 2 Slayer, though, an opportunity for Akave to try to get right back in the series.
2-1 off the rip here in favor of TSM. A lot of bodies being moved towards that camo side, understandably so. That power up goes the best. Guess this is, oh, I thought I got the stick. I had that doo-doo, and I was like, oh, is that the stick noise? And it wasn't. But the kills went down in favor of TSM. 4-1 now, 5-1. And it's going to be 6-2, and the camo will be picked up here by Druk, using that QT to get in and out of the battle, and now one power-up gets exchanged for the next.
Big lead again, and to be honest, with a 5-kill lead and a 45-second camo, big opportunity for TSM to blow this thing wide open yet again. I like this. It's okay, safe damage, because he's just going to make them scurry, and scurry they do. Grab an extra plasma and hit the road.
They're trying to just stay tight hit.
They're doing
Make
it, too.
sure they're not giving any free kills away. They do get the first pick onto TSM. Druk has been spotted out.
Say, is there someone in green?
Oh,
They just, yeah, they just rotate around each other.
Those shots from Akave reminded me of when you're like at a party. Everyone starts looking at each other. It's like, who's this guy? Nobody knows who he is.
Yeah.
He just arrived.
It's actually me most of the time.
Yeah.
If I went to a party.
I'm glad that you. Yeah, it's me as well. Yeah. We're talking about ourselves at parties.
That's why we stopped going to them. Kind of the reaction every time we went to one was, I don't know, just...
That if you're not invited.
Yeah.
And why are you here?
And like sadness.
Who do you know?
Yeah. Which after enough of those, you just kind of, first of all, you leave, then you stop going.
Slow acceptance
Yeah.
of the situation. 13-12 the score now. TSM still with a slender lead, but a good job from Akave to negate the time that camo was active. We hop on board with a little bit of Drift, the man who went off in the series that we saw a little bit earlier. If you were following the Akave story where they reverse swept Complexity. 15-13 still. Oh. Drift living up his name in that situation.
Man has a need for speed, and kind of just whipped around in the wrong direction, and that will extend the TSM lead back into 4 now, and they had just brought the game within 2, but off of that whiff, they're going to have to reset yet again.
Pretty sure SoulSnipe's just managed to grab the next camo of the game as well, so it's going to be 2 in a row for TSM. Also seeing some QT about. Oh, nice little headshot there. It's always very satisfying when you get a headshot with the carbine. It feels like it pierces the helmet a little bit better.
It really does. That thing hits. That thing is... We've only seen them coast a little bit this weekend as it debuts on land, but... Or excuse me, debuts on land here in the HCS, but... Target-rich environment. Gets a stick as well. Not too bad to get 2 of those. And that will be 4 dead. Now, just like that, 15-25. SoulSnipe is 9-6. And your screen, Taulek extends now to 7-5.
Beautiful little whippy shot coming out from Taulek there. 27-16. Very commanding lead, especially with a sniper rifle in your hand. Usually you'll be able to lock down one of the main lanes of travel for Akave towards where Taulek is currently positioned. Player on the nest, he's going to be bodied as he scarpers away to keep his life. Another body shot coming in here for Taulek. Good damage coming in, and Drift is just being pinched, I think, from from green. He had to be forced out of that situation to challenge. 3 dead again for Akave.
Wow.
TSM in full control.
Nicely done there from Taulek. I just love the way he handled that. He knew exactly there's 2 players pushing mud and nest, and now that should be, in general, quite a complex push to handle in a 1v2. Instead, as he keeps racking up the kills, instead he sits there, kind of re-rotates to hit the body on nest as well, rotates back to get the finish, watches the mud jump, and he knows that he can safely watch the mud jump until someone might come bottom tower!
Oh.
And
Okay.
he is not done yet, folks. This game is completely out of hand, 38-21.
Not looking good for Akave Esports at this point in the game and at this point in the series. TSM looked a little bit shaky yesterday, but
Yeah.
that's kind of what we said about a few teams. Now they look like they're dialed in a little bit more. Seems like they're just being a little bit more deliberate with how they're moving around the map. It's not that kind of loose flying that cost them the first death sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to say, it feels like for TSM, this is kind of the series that they needed if people were to believe in this team, and even the players believing themselves after, like you said, what we saw was a little bit kind of inconsistent and not the tightest of gameplay, especially in that complexity series. But they look to be firing on a good form here on day number 2.
Easy. A couple of kills for TSM as well. Leuor somehow stays alive in that situation. Magico is going to get a nade repulse back at him, and the output of damage from Taulek is being cleaned up. And TSM did a really good job just working as a unit at the moment. Kind of indicated about how comfortable Taulek looked on that tower. His teammates just doing everything they needed to take attention away and give him some easy shots to hit.
Exactly. I also love the kind of the confidence to go rat tunnel when he knew he had repulse, right? Because of course you can get trapped there in a whole bunch of different ways, but knew exactly this is going to be a tricky one though. I believe in a lot of no. Gets away honestly with more than he even should yet again. 46 to 30. 47, 3 kills to go.
Taulek currently sat at 12 and 6 in this game with 10 assists. So 22 of the deaths that Akave have enqueued in this game have been, and somehow, in some way, influenced by this man on your screen. He is having quite the game number 2.
Yeah, it's quite wild, and even with the way the assist system works, you could even argue that it's small. It could 25 or more, right? Yeah. Pretty wild.
Druk as well having a really good game, 11 and 4 for him. Nothing really to talk about statistically on the other side of things. Drift is doing what he can, but everyone else kind of struggling a little bit here. Acid with the sniper rifle might have a chance to pull a few kills back, but you would expect TSM to be able to find these two pretty comfortably and close this one out.
Yeah, I imagine honestly going to hold forward. They can sacrifice so much here. So even if a few kills get exchanged, the 49th is on the board. No room for error here. There it is.
Nade into bottom tower will close things out 50 to 37. That is 2 convincing victories for TSM, the season 2 up in the series. We'll be back with game number 3 in just a few moments. When we last spoke, it was 2-0 to TSM. And now that we rejoin this series, it's still 2-0 to TSM. Welcome back, everybody, to this Pool A game between Akave Esports and TSM. We are moving on to a little bit of Forbidden Flag as our game number 3 of the series after 2 bop-ins for Akave in the first 2 games.
Yeah, Akave gonna... Oh, something just happened. Top mid. Drift will fall. Druk, I believe, hits a no-scope brainer. 2 snipes in hand. Flag moving.
Flag moving, flag grooving. Druk is taking brains, and Taulek is joining him. Taulek is overtaking him. Oh! Magico! You have to pull a rabbit out of the hat here if he wants to stay alive, and manages to do so. But they are pinned in the base. The flag is already 2/3 of the way back, and within what feels like 30, 40 seconds, TSM are up by 1.
I don't want to call it yet, but it just feels like these 2 teams are miles apart in terms of where they're at with these game types. The first 2 games have certainly played that way, and the indication, by the way, on Ninja off screen on Acid from Druk, still 3 dead. This game is indicating that this is going to be no exception. Spawns are
my goodness. Taulek is 5-0, and most of those kills have been headshots. 1 bullet left. 2 thrusts, though, just in case that goes badly. We might have a little insta-splode here as well. Doesn't connect this time around. Finally, Taulek could be dealt with, but 2-0 to TSM, and about a minute and a half gone.
It's 2-0, and Manny is 0-0-0.
With 2 flag caps.
Never seen it, I don't think, in my life at a major LAN event. I'm sure it's happened, but I definitely do not think that in any game I've casted, I've seen a 2-0 lead with only 1 flag to go with a player 0-0-0.
It would be one of the great. They're moving the flag again, by the way, and Akave are 2 dead. I would love.
Manny should try to win this 0-0-0.
Manny's running the flag. Yes, he's running the flag. Overshield to Acid. He has to make a play.
Oh no, Manny, no.
Manny, no. 0-0-0. He died. 0-0-0 with 3 flag caps would have been iconic.
I guess it's still a novelty. We'll get back into the seriousness of this game in just a second, folks. But I guess it's still a novelty if he was to win it with 0 kills, 0 assists, right?
Yes.
That would still be impressive. So he can go for that now.
Yeah.
No, stop, Manny. What are you doing?
It's not good.
Cut it
I'll
out.
be honest with you, but it's still something we can talk about.
Move up the map without getting this kill.
Oh, he gets the kill. Okay.
Okay, back to your regular.
Interest lost.
Yeah.
2-0 still for TSM in this game. And Akave finally get a couple of kills on the board. But the pressure is still on. Look how far up they are. They're all trapped in the back of the base again. Snipes are coming up. They might have double snipe again here.
Yep. And even though we will not see a 0-0-0 victory, hello, trade comes in. Druk, by the way, 9-3. Taulek still 8-2. And it just feels like the pressure from TSM. And as we said, just kind of on different tiers, these two teams so far. But we'll have to see. Akave has slowed the bleeding. They've got a little bit control of the map. See if they can try to fight out of this and extend this series to a more respectable distance.
They have managed to get a sniper in their hands as well. That's why SoulSnipe has been so careful. You just saw the glint of that S7, and there is the
Other one.
more hard-hitting nature of the weapon. 2 dead here for TSM. Leuor now moving up onto the bridge to see if he can catch a couple of TSM spawners and give them a little bit of their own medicine.
That will be the prescription. We'll see if he can hit it. Gonna hold main ramp and knows that someone's coming. There's gunfire that I can't hear, which is confusing my brain. We won't worry about that.
2 dead for Akave again. Leuor now disguising himself as a turtle.
As a pillar.
Probably better than Manny in the 1v1. Manny's going to win it. Druk perfects Magico elsewhere, and that's going to be 2 dead for Akave again. Overshield coming up. Manny's going to say, I will have that. I'll take that. I'll use that. By doing so, now might get the final kill on Acid. Everyone else from Akave has just come off respawn, so Manny's just lost the timing on getting that flagpole, but good recognition from him that that was the situation.
Yeah, they're 2 down. Ooh, they know he's here, and they're going to double wrap the corner. They're going to double team and maybe even not even sacrifice a death. They get 1. He has help as well. You can tell. So well, he gets help.
Oh my god.
Taulek comes in. So does Druk. Wow, talk about the teamwork there. I mean, unbelievable.
Leuor has snipe, but the way that Manny actually isolated to make those 2 1v1s instead of just giving a death away, very, very impressive positioning and showing that even, he had overshield, let's keep that in mind, but you can make the most out of any situation.
A stick as well, SoulSnipe. Druk gets away with 1 shot. We'll see what he could do this.
Another pillar enthusiast.
What's the phrase? Not your chance to blow.
Numbers even across the board at the moment on the map, but TSM still with pressure on the Akave base. Leuor flies forward with a thrust and a right hook to take him down. It feels like after what has been a little bit of a barnstorming start on the TSM side, Akave have at least managed to get some sort of foothold in the game. But yet in the series, they really have struggled here.
They have. Druk back on form as well. We saw yesterday just a few games left a bit to be desired statistically. However, here he's 16-6. Getting the flag moving, but he will be taken down 2v2 at the moment.
Manny now 6-5. A lot has changed since our interest was peaked in a very unique statistic line that could have been a prophecy fulfilled. Leuor versus Taulek. Taulek wins that one. He's not losing many at the moment. 13-7 in this game.
Across the map comes Druk. Still has 6 shots as well, so under heavy pressure, overshield up as well.
So a little bit of support here, allowing him to escape with the sniper rifle. 5 bullets left. Also finds himself a thrust off the spawn there, so he's going to be able to be really aggressive here. Druk having picked up that nice headshot onto the Akave player flying across the Mohawk, and with the setup they've got, and with Druk with his sniper rifle in his hands, an opportunity maybe for this to be the 3rd and final flag for TSM.
The juke! Ooh. Gets taken down. It's a nice thrust juke, but they do lose the snipe.
Gotta hit the shots.
Has to hit this.
Gotta hit it.
Does it.
Drift keeps this game alive. Druk is still alive in and around where that flag is, so it's a little bit desperate here for Akave.
Yep.
It's a moving, but Manny's on the flank.
Thrust somehow stays alive. Wanted to thrust up.
You okay?
No.
We'll dissect that after the series. Taulek inside of the base. Magico with his sniper rifle still trying to apply some pressure. The flag will be returned here by Akave.
Magico just stares at the nade that will be his ultimate demise.
You win this round.
Yeah.
Frag grenade.
Not afraid to look that frag. Other players would try to get out of the way. He looks it square in the face and says, I'll be back. He knows that in terms of the way that these are made in the factories, that nade is actually on its last leg, where he's like, I'm going to respawn. Yeah, I'll get the last lap every time. You'll run out of raw materials before I go respawn, depending on the game settings. I wonder what raw materials they're using in the year of our Lord 2550. Probably cost a lot of space bucks due to inflation.
Chromium.
Yes. Chromium nades.
Druk with another overshield here for TSM. Full 360s in though. Checks the corner, but in the most unorthodox fashion.
Yeah, in a fake out, like I'm not checking the right corner way.
Last player alive is Acid at the back of the base. One just come off respawn here for Akave to try and help them stop this flag run. But again, look at the position of the TSM here. They've got the flag out, a couple of kills going their way. And this will be game, set, match, series. Essentially the end of the road for Akave when it comes to its series here against TSM.
Yeah, flag only gets the Mohawk. 3 dead. 4 dead. That flag should keep moving. Let's get a flag check. Yep, it's going.
It's going. And it's the man who teased us who is going to be running the flag. He's already got 2 to his name. No one from Akave is going to be able to stop this one. TSM too good in this series. They will close things out here on Forbidden 3-0. Close the series out 3-0. And will now find themselves in a lovely, comfortable position in Pool A.